20 things that I find a room for improvements with World of Warcraft. So let's go through one by one. Just for context, I've been playing the game for 20 years. I've been playing since the stress test beta, and I've been playing pretty much nonstop ever since. I missed Burning Crusade, and I missed most of Dragonflight. Other than that, I've been playing pretty much nonstop. I am, I guess you would call an average player. So this is the context. I do, mostly just do normal rating, some mid keys like 6s and 7s. I don't really do like Mythic Plus, where we do normal into heroic progression, maybe get AOTC, maybe get Keymaster, that kind of stuff. So just kind of mid-range average player, right? Nothing special. So that's the context that I'm in. But let's get into it. The first one, and probably the least surprising, is there are way too many abilities. You can see here, I have this Twitch VOD playing right here. You can see I'm playing with Druid. This is the first time I ever played Druid. I have 36 keybinds on my main bar down there. The bar on the right is just stuff that I click. But all of the stuff on the left, I pretty much only hit with a keybind, except for maybe like Mark of the Wild, and just because those are hard to reach on my my MMO mouse. And I use specialized peripherals. Let me switch my camera. Where is it? Is it right here? Yes. So I use specialized hardware. Not only do I have, the regular MMO mouse, you can see which buttons I usually press. That's usually SAP and stealth. So I have a 12 button MMO mouse. And I also have this thing right here, and it has this little button right here that you move with your thumb. So when I press the thing, as you can see, I can move with my thumb, which frees up my fingers. Most people, if you're using standard keyboards and mouse, like a 5-button mouse and a standard keyboard, you have a completely different experience. Your experience is harder than mine is, like way harder than mine is, because my fingers are free to. I don't have to press WASD. I can freely press all the buttons that my the rest of my fingers, my non-thumb fingers, can touch. So I have it probably the best case, and even I'm like, this is way too much. It's way too much. It's always a stark contrast. Maybe if all you play is World of Warcraft, and I've been that player before, for years, playing nothing but World of Warcraft. If all you play is World of Warcraft, maybe, you forget the complexity, or you don't think how fun games can be, even if they're simpler games. Like I play Marvel Rivals, and they have this screen. You can press F1 on any hero. Marvel Rivals is a hero shooter. And you can press F1 on any hero, and it'll give you a list of like all of the abilities. You can read over that complete synopsis of everything that of a character that can, everything a character can do in like 30 seconds. You can do it in like the pregame lobby while you're, after you selected your hero. Just press F1, glance at everything if you haven't played it before, and you'll get the gist. And it's like half a dozen abilities. And it's very easy to manage. Now, I'm not saying we need to go down to half a dozen abilities, but I think a good goal, I don't know what the number is. But I think a good goal would be try to make it truly playable, like on the controller. So that means like a dozen, maybe 2 dozen abilities. Active, like in combat abilities. I don't care, like Eyes of the Beast. People can click that. It doesn't need to be bound. Or what is a ancestral vision or far seeing or whatever it is, the shaman like ability where you can go like see things far away. Those are like flavor things. Those are cool. We don't need to get rid of those, but nobody needs to bind that in combat. It doesn't need to be on your bars. But most of the abilities in your spellbook you need to have on your bar. People are always saying it's a 5-button rotation. I don't know any class in the game that gets away with 5 buttons. People always, I don't know if they're just being hyperbolic or if they just don't really see the complexity, but there is way too much complexity. It's been, I'm not even saying like completely like prune everything. I'm just like, get back to like, I don't know, like Wrath or Mista Pandaria or maybe Warlords of Draenor levels of ability ability buttons, because used to you can get away with 2 bars. I think that should be like the upper. I think the goal should be 1 bar, 1 bar, but at most 2 bars of like active in combat abilities that you need to be able to press, because it's just it's way too much. And I don't know a player. I see it like on Reddit. I'll make a statement that there's too many abilities, and people will downvote the post, and they'll reply that you're wrong and everything like that. But I don't know an actual player that I have talked to about this actually in game. Like I play with 30 or 40 people on a regular basis, rating constantly every night, and each one of these players, none of them have ever said, no, I actually like hitting 40 goddamn buttons. I really like having 40 buttons on my shaman. It really makes me feel like I'm a shaman. Nobody says that. Nobody says that. It's only online people, as best I can tell, that wants all of these goddamn buttons. I don't know where this is coming from. We were on the path for a while there with the ability prunings to get rid of, start streamlining some of these specs and get rid of some of the more, filler abilities and stuff like that, where you had like shield charge, you had charge, and then you had intercept, and like now you just have charge, right? Or whatever. It simplification in that way. You can still have fun classes, but you don't need 50 goddamn buttons. Anyway, that is absolutely number one. Number two is there's too many talents. My heart broke. I was excited to come back. I missed most of Dragonflight, and I come back in Dragonflight. I log in to my rogue, which I've been playing for like 20 years. I used to be a theory crafter. Very much, you could easily say that I'm an expert rogue. I used to do theory crafting and all that jazz. And even when I came back and saw the new talent tree, I almost wanted to quit, like immediately, because I had already been through this like complexity thing, like back in like Warlords of Draenor or Legion. I used to help make a tool called Shadowcraft. This was the theory crafting thing. So I used to be deeply involved with this stuff. And part of the reasons why Shadowcraft is now defunct is the game got too complicated. We simply couldn't keep up with our, like 2 to 3 man dev team, on our own hours trying to keep the tool up to date with the game. We couldn't keep up with all of the complexity in the game. It was too complex to model. So we still got simulation craft. We'll just use simulation craft, and we'll get rid of the rogue only tool. Shadowcraft was a rogue only tool, but it was a website that it's kind of like you could like choose all your gear and swap things out and change talents, and you would get like a live update like immediately. It was a really great thing, but all of this new complexity and now this talents here, like all of the things, they make a big case in Mr. Pandaria as to why the new MOP talent tiers were better. And all of those reasons are still true today as they were then. So I don't know why we went back, because back then there was a lot of like passive nodes on the tree, and most of it was like, is it really a meaningful choice? I'm like, I have to choose talent A because I need to path the talent B. So I didn't really want A, but I had to pick up A just to get B. And really the meaningful choice was between B and C, and you had to go through E to get to C. And like distilling talents down to meaningful choice was objectively correct. And I think I saw a talk on it, like they even in the talk, they said this was absolutely the perfect design, but we ended up redoing the talents anyway in Dragonflight. And I'm like, why? I just don't understand. Anyway, there's way too many talents. It's way too complicated. Just focus on meaningful, fun choices. I'm like, maybe you didn't like the Mr. Pandaria talent trees. You didn't like the talents. Maybe you didn't like that. You can improve the talents themselves, improve the choices themselves, but the structure was actually perfect. That was the ideal structure. But I don't know why we went back to these huge convoluted, and now they're doing hero trees and all this stuff, and that's going to be another thing on my list. But anyway, talents, way too many talents. Let's get back to something simpler, please. Um, Kind of to help fight against this is number 3. I'm just going to put it as a decide. It's okay to have. There was this big crusade against borrowed power. I'm fine with borrowed power so long as one, you don't have to. It isn't annoying to get said borrowed power. Like you shouldn't have to. Like the Cersei's circlet or whatever this last here. That's a borrowed power ring in some sense, right? And the problem was repeating those damn quests and go farming up all of those jewels every single time. It was so annoying if you played alts. If you did it once, it was fine. Just like artifact power. If you played one character, artifact power was fine. It was if you tried to play more than one character, or if you had to take a break for whatever reason, you fell behind. I think it's okay to have like temporary power, but it needs to just be, it needs to be focused on like giving more variety. Just to the reason why I like the temporary power is because it expires. We go to the next tier or the next expansion, we no longer have that ability, and we got something else instead. Maybe it was cool and we moved it into the class and we swapped it out with something else, but it gives the developers the chance to like experiment and stuff, and gives players variety, a little bit of extra variety, but it doesn't have to stick around unless people just really love it, right? I think that's okay. Here's a rating thing. Number 4, run backs suck ass. They just suck. I know people always complain about trash and trash and trash and trash sucks. And, yeah, trash sucks. What really sucks is running back after a fucking boss fight. Why isn't there a stone? You make it to the boss, and as soon as you do, they have the Mythic Plus, you kill the boss, and it opens the stone, the checkpoint. I don't even want that. I want, when we get up to the boss room, we're running up to the boss room right now, there should be a stone summons right there to the right or to the left or something like that. A little stone that just automatically like drops and says, okay, we're at this boss now. We have opened this checkpoint. And now if you die, you will res right here by this checkpoint. And critically, you can click on the stone and it's a summoning stone. So you don't need to constantly pester the warlocks. I know the warlocks are so fucking annoyed with summoning. We have a couple of warlocks and they constantly complain about summoning. They're constantly bringing up a closet. Just have a little checkpoint stone that is a res checkpoint, and you can click on it and summon players. Just do that, please. Just do that. If that would be so amazing. Anyway, number 5, hero talents are dumb. They're just more talents. That's all they are. They're just more things you click on. They're your little prize, your little child, and you have to have your talent point every freaking level, or I don't feel rewarded. No, it's so fucking dumb. Please, we don't need more. We need less. And not only that, not only is it just the added complexity from hero talents, it's also like shifting the focus from classes. I think we should focus on the class. You should be playing a protection paladin. You should play paladin. I don't play assassination rogue. I play rogue. I don't play Deathstalker assassination rogue. I play rogue. I don't play was it Tooth and Claw Guardian Druid or wherever that Lunar Druid or wherever the hell Moon Druid, Guardian Druid. I play a Druid. I play all the specs. I think we should focus. I think the devs should focus more on class identity, not so much specs. Specs should just be like, some minor adjustments to like the gameplay. Obviously, you're going from like a tank class to a healer class. That makes sense. But, most of the kits should be the same. Most of the talent should be the same. Right now it's half the two. I want more. I want almost all of the class to be class, and very few of these spec abilities to be spec abilities. Right. I can't. One of the things that annoys me the most is players who play. I'm like, I'm a BM hunter. I only ever play BM hunter. I'm like, we kind of need you to play MM, but the players are so identified. It's because we focus so much identity on a spec that our specs have turned into classes in and of themselves. The classes in all but name. And now we're doing it more with hero talents. But, 5 years from now, it will all be talking about our sub specs. And we won't be just talking about our specs. We'll be talking about our sub specs. That's where this road leads. And I don't want to go down that road. I want to go back. Let's go back to classes and have specs be flavored. Whereas, now specs are classes and sub specs are flavored. Let's walk it back one. Let's walk about it. It's reducing complexity and it's improving class identity. Like it's something, nothing infuriates me more than sitting in queue waiting on a healer and I've got 5 paladins in the group. I'm like, you're playing a paladin, you should know how to heal. That's my opinion. If you play a paladin, you should know how to tank. Maybe you don't always do it. Maybe it's not your preferred thing, that you should know how to do that. Like I play rogue, I play all 3 specs. Well, before all the complexity made that hard, I play all 4 specs. It's just play all 3 specs. Anyway, I think we should focus more on class identity than more of these sub specs and sub specs and sub specs. Let's get away from that. Let's focus on classes. Number 6, another kind of raid thing. It applies all over the place. Just make raid buffs automatic. First of all, remove raid buffs or just make them all automatic. Make them an aura. Make Mark of the Wild an actual like aura. That just it's like the devotion aura or whatever from paladins or whatever. Just give the class an aura that when they're in the group, you have the buff. When I'm playing my rogue, when I stab the boss, I give the boss my raid debuff. It just happens automatically. The reason why this is a problem, I don't know. I know how my raid, I don't know how other raids works, but we're constantly calling out buff up, buff up, buff up. Oh, we need it. Oh, we need stamina. Oh, we need mastery. Oh, we need versatility. Oh, I'm missing this. Or we need shout. And like it's constant. It never ends. We're constantly waiting on the player to press a goddamn button just so we can fucking pull. And it's so goddamn annoying. And not only that, it makes my raid leader is obsessed with fucking buffs. That's him right there, the green thing, the druid tank right there. That's Greenstone. He's he is obsessive about buffs. I mean, for good reason. But at the same time, we will wait like 5 minutes to like look for like a mage because we're missing the mage buff. I'm like, let's just fucking pull already, And I hate raid buffs. I hate them. Anyway, if we could remove them or at least make them automatic, I would be so happy. I would prefer to just remove them so we stop this stupid Tetris where we have to collect them. We have to collect all the classes. Let's get rid of that nonsense. I get that that's the point, but nobody cares. You can swap specs really easily now. You could swap classes really easy now. It's not a problem. So we don't need to force raid composition. Look, I give 0 shits if the race to world first mythic plus people, mythic rating race to world first plus are stacking 15 frost DKs into their raid. I give literally 0 shits, and that's because I give 0 shits about fucking race to world first. Anyway, I don't know who really, I know people, they talk about it, but I don't know who really wants the game balanced around what some sweaty assholes are doing on stream. It just doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, moving on. Number 7, the upgrade system is hella confusing. I didn't even understand it. I came back in Dragonflight. I didn't even fucking understand it. And then I probably spent like an hour or two just trying to understand what is upgrade tracks. And I get this Explorer track, but where does Explorer track come back? And the names are the big culprit here. One, it's just unnecessary complexity in the first place. But two, the names. Why is it Explorer track? Why does veteran track come from Raid Finder? Just have it called Raid Finder track. Have it be called normal track. Have it be called heroic track. Have it call it mythic track. Just and get rid of Explorer and Adventure. Who the fuck uses it? Who out there is upgrading Explorer and Adventure gear? Like really, really and truly, who's doing that? Nobody. That's who. Anyway, it just doesn't matter. You get gear is so easy to get. Those tracks are completely useless. Get rid of them. Yeah, so that's it's a confusing system. You had to have Valor Stones in addition to the crest. No, just have the crest. Just have the crest alone. Crest is the gatekeeping thing. Valor Stones are just an annoyance. Anyway, I mean, like I think it was in Mist of Pandaria. You had like I think it was the last time it was in Mist of Pandaria. You could at least some patches you could like upgrade your gear with Valor. This is, before Valor Songs, back when we had Valor and Conquest tokens or whatever the hell they were called. You could just upgrade with Valor or Conquest or whatever the tokens were called. And that system was fine. I don't think it's really necessary. I don't really understand. I know it's for engagement, but if we do have to, just make it simple and easy. There's no reason to go through. I get that there are some nice properties. I get it. There are some nice properties about the way the tracks overlap and all of that jazz. I get it, but I don't think it's worth the complexity. It's just too much. It's hella confusing. Like I'm an experienced player, been playing for 20 years, and you come in and a new player comes in and they're not going to know what the fuck's going on either. I'm like, and they've already got 20 other overcomplicated things that they need to learn. Why are we adding to it with the upgrade system? It's just unnecessary complexity. Number 8, Mythic plus keys are dumb. Just look, you get your group together, you go to the dungeon, you click on it, and you choose the tier that you want to do. And you can choose any tier that you have completed the previous tier. So if you want to do a plus 10, then you have to have had done a plus 9. Very simple. Works just like Delves. Just make it work that way. Nobody cares about keys. I don't care. I get it. I think if I was to put on like a designer hat, I get that the keys is probably to help people from all running the same dungeon, the easiest dungeon over and over and over again. I get that that's probably the case. I think you should just balance the dungeons better. I think that would be better. And then it won't be a problem. Plus, people already do that. They already, you just go to the poke finder and everybody goes to the one that drops their trinket already. Everybody already farms the one that they want anyway. So it doesn't matter. Like if you're trying to run the unpopular dungeon and it's like the wrong key level, you're going to have very, very many applications. If you're doing Eric Era, you're going to have 20 bajillion applications because they want the trinket, right? It's if you're doing Floodgate, you're going to have a bajillion people applying because they want to do Floodgate for the trinket. Like it doesn't. The key system doesn't solve anything. It only adds complexity to the equation. It's just dumb. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep going faster here. We're 20 minutes in. Oh geez, we're only halfway through. Number 9, the key depletion. Just a spell check said key, spell checked at key repetition, but a key depletion just adds stress to the key. It just adds to the level of stress and the toxicity in Mythic Plus by having key deplete. If all you lost was your time, that's fine. Like you just lost a little bit of, you lost 15 minutes, but now you have to go do homework to get the key back up to the level that you need. Just let people choose the dungeon that they want to work on. I don't know why. This is Blizzard. Blizzard is supposed to be the game company that makes games easy, fun, and accessible, and they have added all of these roadblocks into the Mythic Plus system. I don't get it. Just get rid of the keys, get rid of the freaking key depletions. I don't care about resilient keys. I have never had a resilient key. I have never done a key above, I think, 8 or 9. I've never done a 10. I know a lot of people, they do the 10 for life. It's way too sweaty for me. It's way too stressful for me, especially as a tank. Like, I join a group, and because I screw up as a tank, I delete the key for the key holder just because I made a simple mistake. You know, we could just try again, but no, the whole run is over, and now everybody's unhappy. And that's just way too much toxicity and stress that I want to deal with. And I love tanking, but I anything above like a 6 or a 7, I get really squeamish about, you know, because I don't want to waste other people's time, and I don't want to put up with the stress. You guys get it. You guys get it. Anyway, let's get rid of key restrictions. Here's a very niche one, just because I started playing Druid this season. I'm normally on Rogue, but swapping specs while shapeshifted. If you are in flight form, even on the ground, you can't swap specs. You have to leave flight form, and then you can swap specs. It is so fucking annoying. There's a similar restriction opening caches. Like, I'll be flying, you know, you go do like the Halifal spreading the light daily, and you get the cache from that, right? And I'll go like be flying off to the next quest I want to do, and I want to go open the cache. I can't open the cache because I'm flying. It's so I could do it on my rogue because I'm flying, you know, I'm flying on a mount, but because I'm shapeshifted, I can't. Or it's something like, I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's something like that. I could do it on my rogue who's just on a normal mount, but shapeshifted flying, I can't do it. It's so annoying. I wish they would fix that. Anyway, that's the druid tip. The druid complaint. What else? Number 11. Give raiders higher tier in the vault, just like Mythic Plus and Delves. Please, for the love of God. Like, if I am a heroic raider, I should get in my vault, I should get myth track gear in my vault. Just like if I do Mythic Plus, I do a 10, I do a sufficiently high key, I will get myth track gear. There's this weird middle ground in regarding gear in World of Warcraft, where if you're doing Delves, you get rewarded a higher track. If you're doing Mythic Plus, you get a higher track. If you're a heroic raider, if you're not a mythic raider, you're in like this weird dead zone where you don't even need to raid. You can get all of the gear you need to complete the raid. Like, you can be completely geared out in hero track without doing any raiding. And I'm not complaining about getting hero track gear. I'm saying, give people a reason to heroic raid. Give us something like, I go do my delves. I do at least 4 delves, if not 8, especially early on in the season, to get hero track loot that's easy to get, that's way better. And at the time, when I'm doing that, we're clearing normal. So like, I'm getting better gear from delves than I am from my raid or whatever. And there's like this dead zone with hero track where every other piece of content can reward copious amounts of hero track gear, except for raid. It's once a week lockout on up to 8 bosses, assuming you clear them all, and you won't, especially early on. So you're just missing out on a ton of gear unless you're doing this other content. If you're a heroic raider and you're not doing Mythic Plus and you're not doing delves, you're just not going to progress. You're just not going to get any gear, and you're not going to progress. You're going to fall way, way behind. And this isn't about being cutting edge. This is just being an average everyday player, right? And there's a problem there with the word. And I think it would be improved with the vault. But I think there's further improvements. The next one is, maybe we should just remove the vault. Let's just drop a currency from all of the content that allows you to pick a piece of gear is kind of like a, you can still drop gear and stuff like that, but you drop a currency instead. And then there's a vendor, there's a dungeon vendor and a raid vendor. And if you have the hero tokens, let's say here you killed 6 bosses, and that's enough for like one. You can choose one piece of gear from the hero from the hero vendor. You go there and you can pick it. So at least if you clear 6 bosses, you're going to get one piece of loot, just like the vault, right? You get at least one chance at a piece of loot. I think that's fine. I would like that. I think I will like that better. But anyway, I think we just drop currency instead of having the vault. I know it's done for engagement, but I would just rather, I would rather have like, you know, some sort of like system in place where you can, you know, bad luck protection. Nothing feels worse than missing that key piece of gear, that one slot or whatever that you really need to go, or that one trinket, which we'll get to in a minute, that you absolutely need. You just get it from a vendor. If you know, if you don't get it from the boss after, you know, several weeks, you can choose to prioritize which ones you're going to get. And that might even fix a problem later on that we're going to talk about, which is 13. Trinkets are overpowered and they are not intuitive performance wise, like at all. Astral Antenna is way better than almost every other trinket. It's not even close. That's the problem. The tuning on trinkets are just, it's all over the board. I've got like 5 or 6 trinkets in my bank that are champion and hero track right now, and I'm using a veteran trinket. It's like the Azure Ritual trinket or something like that. Anyway, it's a stupidly overpowered trinket. I got it from Raid Finder, and I have hero track trinkets. I don't use it because of this one trinket is just so much more powerful. We need more parity. The trinkets at least need to be powerful, need to be the same, similar power in the tier. If I get a hero track trinket, it should be better than all champion track trinkets. If I get a champion track, it should be better than all veteran track trinkets. Make it easy. I get that there will always be some variance and whatnot, but this whole system where trinkets are just absolutely broken and everybody's rolling on the same exact thing. Everybody's rolling on Astral Antenna. Everybody's rolling on, what is it, the ritual trinket that I was just talking about. Everybody's rolling on the boots. You know, it's creating way too much. It's a gear bottleneck, and it just doesn't. It feels bad. You've got all this gear, and none of it is any good. And critically, you can't even tell in game. Like, especially with trinkets, you can't even tell in game. You can't look at the eye level. There's no way. You can't read the tooltip. There's all sorts of problems with the tooltip. Like, you start reading a trinket here. You start reading a trinket, right? First time you ever seen this trinket. You read it and tell me what you think. It says, does 6 million damage. And you're like, yes. And then it says split between, and then you're all right. Nope. It's already crap. Anytime you see split between, it's already crap. So it's like it's like there's like 20 different people making trinkets and they can't get together and decide, you know, here's our bounce. The trinket itemization is just completely broken and they need to fix it. It needs to have more sane itemization. I don't know what formula that they're using to balance the trinkets, but it's not fucking working. It is way the hell off. They need to fix it. Crafting, number 14. Crafting is overcomplicated. Why do we need 5 different ranks? Why do I have to provide like 5 different components? Why do I have like the sparks, but the sparks come every week and you have to look in your currency tab to tell if you have your spark shard for the week. It's super complicated. Why don't you just have crafting? You create crafting, right? If you had the currency system, you could just use the currency to create as a reagent for crafting. You could just do that, but we can't do that. It's it's just too much. Like, why do we have three different ranks of consumables? Everybody's wanting to use the top one anyway, right? So why? It makes no sense. Anyway, I hate it. It's way too complicated. That and the was it artisan dust or whatever it is, that the artisan acuity, that system is really annoying, and it's just the whole it's way too complicated. And like, I think it is an improvement over where it was before. It was a little too simple, but it's a little too complex right now. And I think we could do some simplification. I know that they're going to be reducing the ranks, but I think they just get rid of ranks altogether. It's unnecessary noise. Who is using, what is it, the silver rank? Who's really using silver rank? If you get your gear crafted, are you going to get a silver rank crafted weapon? Fuck no. You're going to get a rank 5. If you have a spark, you're going to get a rank, you're going to craft a rank 5. I don't understand why the ranks are just, anyway. Number 15. Why can't I create a rank 5 public order? I just want to put it up there public. I want to go eat my dinner and come back, and somebody will have fulfilled it by then. Why do I got to get in freaking trade chat and post for like, 15, 30 minutes? I get that, like, if you're on super high population server during prime time hours, you'll get a craft like almost immediately. But why do we even have to deal with that? Just let us put an order up like a guild order. If we could do a public order, which anybody can do, or you can do a guild order, or you can just send it to a specific person. And you should be able to choose rank 5. I don't know why there's a limitation that you can't choose which rank has to require a rank on a public order. It's just annoying. 16. Let me recover my sparks. I'm playing Balanced Druid, as you can see, this tier for the most part. And I went to go craft my weapon. Now I'm a heroic mode raider, and since I don't do Mythic Plus, I don't get access to Myth Track weapons. So crafted weapon is always my best weapon. So I was very excited to go craft my weapon, and I'm sure you know where this is going. I created an agility weapon instead of an int weapon. And so I was screwed for 4 goddamn weeks. Or is it 2 weeks? Whatever. I was screwed for several weeks. 4 weeks, because it takes 2 sparks. I was screwed for 4 whole weeks after that before I could recraft. Now I have my int weapon, but we're like 6 or 8 weeks in or something like that. I already, I wish you could just break it back down. If I could just I didn't care if I lost all the other materials. Let me get my sparks back. If I create a weapon, so I'd start the tier and I create a 2-handed weapon. That's a lot of investment. And then I get a myth track weapon, comes from a vault or from a raid or something like that. Now I should be able to break that back down and then recraft recraft with those sparks into new pieces of gear. That should just, to me, I think that's just obvious that's the way that should work, but I don't know why it doesn't work that way. But anyway, let me recover my sparks. They're a limited thing. Let me recraft. We can recraft items. Let us recraft the spark. Anyway, number 17. Let me invite and whisper cross faction. We run, our guild is very casual. We do normal to heroic mode progression. We have this community of non-guildies that also raid with us, and we pug with people all the time. So we're constantly inviting people to the community, constantly inviting people to guilds, and it's constantly, I can't invite you. Somebody on Horde, can you invite them? It's so fucking dumb. Let us just invite people to guilds and communities, cross faction. As a bonus, just let us whisper. Let us all talk to each other. Let's stop with this stupid you can't talk to the person because they're in another faction unless they're in a group or they're in a guild. Just stop it. Just stop it. Let's talk to, let us talk to people. Let us socialize, please. Number 18. Please stop with the low effort islands and content. I'm talking your Siren's Isle. I went there, you do the introductory for like 30 minutes. You're like, oh my God, is this all the content? I'm like, I would have rather that they just completely scrap that and put all of those developers on the next patch. Make the next big patch better. I don't like this low effort 0.5 patch content or whatever point it is. I think it's 0.5, 0.7. All of that I can't stand. It's always super duper weak content that is completely forgettable. Oftentimes it's filled with time gated nonsense that and grindy collect stuff. They're trying to force engagement. Please stop. Focus on the big things, the raids, the dungeons, the delves, the PvP. Focus on that. Don't focus any of your effort on this. I mean, who likes Siren? Seriously, who likes Siren? Look, Timeless Isle was fun the first time, and I'm even fine with that, having like a Timeless Isle, like for the final patch of the raid, just have that zone. I'm fine with one of those, engagement zones. Like there was one, what was it, Tanan Jungle or whatever the hell it was in Legion or WoD or whatever it was. Anyway, they had one they had these every expansion, and I just wish they could do that at the end of the expansion. But I don't. The content is completely not necessary. I'm really driving this into the wall. But anyway, hope you get the point. It's just I'm really not satisfied with the little island content and the Wrathy invasion thing, and it's just really, it seems it looks low effort. It feels like low effort. I can feel the developers trying to manipulate me into playing more, and I just get infuriated by it. Anyway, 19 probably probably in opposing my number 3 here. Stop with the borrowed power items. I'm talking about the Cersei circlet and the cloak, and also the boots this tier. That's borrowed power. The new boots. These items that everybody has to get. Trinkets kind of go with this as well, but it's items they have to get. I don't like these things. Like if I got the belt, then I can no longer use my belt slot enchant. I'm an engineer. I can no longer use the water strider, water whatever jets or whatever. I can't use my engineering thing because it is a click. Anyway, there's always something like that. If I'm a cloak, I can't use the cloak because the cloak has a right click, so I can't have my glider, that kind of stuff. Please just stop with the borrowed power items. We all have to repeat the belt quest on 6 goddamn alts. It's so fucking annoying. Number 20, please stop with the mandatory gear slots, like the boots and the Giga. We've kind of touched on this already. The Giga trinkets that everybody has to have. Everybody's rolling on the boots in the raid. Everybody's rolling on Astral Feather. Everybody's rolling on Cephorium Pacemaker. Everybody's rolling on Eric Heretic. Please, just stop making items way out of budget. I get, like, if you want to make an item way out of budget, make it like something special. Like number 21. Where are the fucking legendary weapons? We should have at least one every expansion, and it doesn't have to be everybody. I'm like, it could be for one class, or just for casters, or it could just be for melee, or it could just be for tanks or whatever. I'm fine with that, but legendaries are like, they're classic. They're they're a big they're a big appeal of the game. The game feels better even when I don't have a legendary. The game feels better when legendaries exist because it's something to aspire to. Everybody wants one, and there's always, there's controversy about who's going to get it. I don't think we need to do like the old style where only one person in the like what was it Dragon Soul where only the rogues got the rogue daggers or something like that. I don't think we really need to get down to that, but I think we could bring back legendary items, legendary weapons. I think they're fun. And I think that's where you can have the super powerful trinkets. Nowadays, it's what you could have like the super powerful items. But nowadays it seems like the new legendaries are did you get the boots? Did you get the astral feather or whatever the hell it's called? Did you get that? That's the legendary. And I just it's I just don't like it. I think we could bring back legendary. That's your bonus number 21, and we have been going for 45 minutes. I am done ranting. So hopefully you found this enjoyable, and I will catch you guys next time. Toodaloo.